affordability and fiscal sustainability of the public wage bill to ensure that resources are released for development and other priority government agenda. Your Excellency, as we look back to where we have been in the last 6 years, running from 2018 to 2024, the original aspirations of the framers of the Constitution continue to be the single most rallying call for the Commission. The ball was not dropped. In fact, SRC stepped up the ante. It is a journey through several checkpoints, smooth roads, and rough terrain, but a journey all the same. Your Excellency, allow me to highlight a few key achievements over this illustrious and momentous journey, which started with the development and successful implementation of a strategic plan. Your Excellency, on the public wage bill, SRC is proud of the remarkable achievement made over the 6 years, leading to a progressive drop in the total wage bill to revenue over the period from 51.54% in the financial year 2017-18 to 46.64% in the financial year 2024-2023. This is projected to decline further to 39.22% in the financial year 2023-2024. While there is an increase in the absolute amount of wage bill, this drop has been attributed to interventions by SRC. Allow me, Your Excellency, just to mention a few of the strategic interventions by SRC that has led to the drop in the ratio. The first one, Your Excellency, is fiscal sustainability of the salary structures. Cognizant of the high wage bill and the need to harmonize remuneration, SRC froze salary structures for over 90% of state corporations and constitutional offices in the second and third review cycles. Further, cognizant of the economic situation attributed to COVID-19, withdrawal of the Finance Bill 2024, and other austerity financial measures, SRC froze salary structure reviews in 2 occasions for state and public officers. Your Excellency, the other key intervention has been in streamlining allowances, which resulted in abolishing a number of allowances. This, over the period, resulted in an estimated saving of 11.2 billion. On an ongoing basis, Your Excellency, SRC receives requests on salary reviews, collective bargaining negotiations, bonuses, benefits, allowances, among others. In the financial year 2020 to date, SRC received requests for advice amounting to 150 billion. However, the request approved through SRC advice reduced the amount to a low of 45 billion, hence releasing 105.7 billion to other government priorities. Without SRC's advice, the country would have spent an additional 150.89 billion over that period. Your Excellency, on collective bargaining negotiations, SRC has continued to ensure fiscal sustainability of any remuneration that is signed in the collective bargaining agreements. Before SRC was established, CBAs was signed even where institutions had no funds to meet contractual obligations. The management, who are in most cases beneficiaries of collective bargaining agreements, negotiated terms that are favorable to employees and commits the employer, that is the government, to fiscally and sustainable contractual obligations. In the last 6 years, SRC has largely reversed this trend and must continue to be vigilant on the same. Your Excellency, over the period we held 2 national wage bill conferences that has also contributed immensely in reduction of the wage bill to where we are today. Your Excellency, allow me now to mention a few other areas of accomplishments. Attraction and retention of requisite skills in the public service, which is a requirement for SRC to ensure that remuneration is able to attract and retain the skills in the public service. During the period, we carried out salary surveys, an international salary survey for state officers, a local country survey for other public officers and for healthcare healthcare workers. And the Commission then set 50th percentile as the market positioning for all remuneration for public officers. Indeed, Your Excellency, the attraction and retention in the public service is very high. In 2018, it was at 95%. In 2020, it was at 90%. And in 2022, it is at 99%. The high retention rate in the public service is attributed to competitive remuneration and benefits, high job security, opportunities for career growth, and a good working environment. Your Excellency, other areas of achievement have been in the area of productivity. Indeed, pursuant to the constitutional principle on recognizing productivity and performance, SRC developed and launched the framework for recognizing performance and productivity in the public service. The Commission has worked tirelessly in collaboration with Kenya School of Government to develop a curriculum on productivity and with the National Productivity Center to help institutions to develop their productivity matrices. Your Excellency, on equity, fairness, and transparency in remuneration, the Commission deploys job evaluation as the means to ensure that there is relativity in pay structures. Your Excellency, during the period, the Commission evaluated 47,361 jobs and developed grading structures and attendant remuneration structures. However, full harmonization is not feasible at the moment due to the cost implication and its impact on the wage bill. Allow me now, Your Excellency, to talk about governance and accountability. SRC has endeavored to live by the principle of good governance, integrity, transparency, and accountability as enshrined in the Constitution. SRC was recognized for upholding good corporate governance and accountable financial reporting and received 4 awards during this period. The Commission received FIRE Awards of 2021 for consistently posting and qualified audit opinions, FIRE Award in 2022, First Runners-Up, and also First Runners-Up in 2023, and Champions of Governance Award in 2022 for the Commission Sector Award. Your Excellency, as an independent institution, SRC is aware of the need to work with other parts of government and has continued to work in using the whole of government approach in everything that we do. Allow that I deviate slightly to mention that it has not been that rosy. It has not been all smiles. There have been challenges ranging from legal suits, mandate attacks, usurping of SRC's mandate, resistance by some stakeholders towards SRC setting an advice that abolished some allowances, and the review of pay at lower rates than expected by state officers and other public officers, among others. Calls to disband SRC have not been uncommon and continue with the current bill in Parliament to convert SRC into a part-time commission, thereby reduce its effectiveness. Your Excellency, the challenges also include issues of budget, and I will not elaborate because they are in the report. As I draw on my remarks today, allow to point out top priority areas for which the ball should not drop as SRC moves into the future. The first one of this is full implementation of the resolutions of the Third Wage Bill Conference, which is paramount to the achievement of the desired goal of achieving the wage bill to revenue ratio of 35% by 2028. The other key one, Your Excellency, is on productivity, that the public service productivity is indeed a transformational agenda that will enable government to drive and align the entire public service towards competitiveness, sustained revenue growth, improved wage bill to revenue ratio, improved service delivery, increased profitability of commercial state corporations, and improved remuneration. Harmonization of pay also is a key area for focus as we look forward. So though equity and fairness in remuneration is a legal requirement, and SRC has endeavored to work towards this, there is still a long way to go due to historical distortions and financial implications of harmonization. In conclusion, Your Excellency, working at SRC dictates that one follows the path of courage. The role of the chairperson and members at SRC is not a position where one seeks to be liked, but rather to do the right thing by the Constitution. This position is certainly not for the faint-hearted. The Commission is forever grateful and indebted to a very able team of Commission members and the Secretariats, as well as stakeholders, for supporting the various facets of SRC's mandate. Your Excellency, the Commission is indebted to your immense support in the last Wage Bill Conference and the continued support that we receive from government to ensure that we fulfill our constitutional mandate. Your Excellency, this Commission has made its positive impact, but a lot more needs to be done. On behalf of SRC, I'm handing over a steady ship to the next captain to steer it to its next destination. As the Commission members and myself end our 6th tour of duty, we are delighted with the achievements and look forward to serving the country in other areas of public service. Your Excellency, on behalf of this team, let me take this opportunity to express our desire to continue serving in the public service and humbly request for consideration of appointments in your administration. God bless you and God bless Kenya. I thank you and now submit our report.
Your Excellency, the second commission to hand over its report is the Commission on Administrative Justice, the Ombudsman. Sir, the chairperson of the Commission of Administrative Justice, Hon. Florence Kajuju, was appointed by your predecessor in office on 8th August 2018 for a single and renewable term of 6 years. The chairperson, Hon. Florence Kajuju, was appointed alongside the following members: Mr. Washington Opio Sati, a person living with a disability; Ms. Lucy Kamunya Ndungu. If it pleases Your Excellency, permit me to invite the outgoing chairperson of the Commission of Administrative Justice, Hon. Florence Kajuju, to highlight the Commission's achievements during her tenure in office and to proceed and hand over her Commission's exit report.
Your Excellency, our President, Honorable William Samoei Ruto, and our Deputy President, all protocols observed. It has been a privilege to serve at the helm of the Commission on Administrative Justice, also known as the Office of the Ombudsman, since the year 2018 to 2024. The time to exit the Commission has come, and we hereby take this opportunity to present our exit report titled Deepening Administrative Justice and Access to Information in Kenya, 2018 to 2024. The report extensively elaborates the Commission's activities undertaken to promote administrative justice and the right to information for the last 6 years. A reflection of the last 6 years highlights considerable advancements and milestones achieved by the Commission in the realization of its vision. Under my leadership and that of my colleague commissioners, the Commission developed the second strategic plan, 2019 to 2023, that has been the Commission's blueprint. Your Excellency, the plan was premised on 4 strategic themes, notably resolution of public complaints, oversight and enforcement of access to information, public education, awareness creation and visibility, and institutional strengthening and capacity building. Your Excellency, during our time, we ensured that this mandate of the Commission was captured within the better agenda. And therefore, Your Excellency, a brief highlight of this themes will show that the Commission ensured that we launched the Complaints Management Information System, where complainants, Your Excellency, would be able to lodge their complaint from the comfort of their homes through the online system, and they would also be able to track the complaint. Your Excellency, this has supported the lodging of complaints, and we've had a resolution rate of 65.6%. Your Excellency, on oversight and enforcement of access to information, the Commission has jointly with the Ministry of ICT and Digital Economy spearheaded the development of the access to information regulations and also drafted the National Access to Information Policy. Your Excellency, we thank your government for finding it necessary to have an aspect of the digital economy within the ministry, because that then supported the access to information law, which is a requirement under the Constitution that Kenyans have access to information. These instruments, Your Excellency, will support the operationalization of the access to information law and ensure that it is streamlined within the operations of public entities, and while guiding the domestication of the Access to Information Act in the counties, because, Your Excellency, it is a requirement under Section 96(3) of the County Governments Act. Under public education and awareness creation, Your Excellency, in the last 6 years, the Commission has trained public officers drawn from various ministries, departments, agencies, and the counties for them to be able to understand what the Ombudsman mandate is. This, Your Excellency, has been done through the Ombudsman Mashinani, where the Commission has been able to get to the counties, to get to the people in terms of knowledge, citizens getting to understand what the Commission does. In 2018, the awareness rate was at 28%. We are now, Your Excellency, proud to say that we have left the Commission at a public awareness rate of 59.3%. And on access to information, Your Excellency, Kenyans are aware of their right to information, which stands at 64% as at 2023. Your Excellency, the Commission is in its quest to support vision of the better agenda, as in place the two-edged forums, that is recognition and deterrence. The motivational strategy is to spur a responsive, efficient, and effective service delivery, Your Excellency, and through this, we hosted the Huduma Ombudsman Award. Your Excellency, the Commission, through your support, was able to host this event, and Your Excellency, you presided over this function through delegation of your cabinet secretaries, which was done in November 2023. Your Excellency, in this award ceremony, we were recognizing public officers who have been able to excel within their public service. And permit me, Your Excellency, to just mention two of these people, the individuals that we felt in their public service capacity and done so well in terms of serving Kenyans. There was, Your Excellency, Ms. Precious Dama, who is our Assistant County Commissioner in Kilifi North Sub-County, Kilifi County. This Precious Dama, Your Excellency, ensured within the community that she served, started programs that support the vulnerable in community. She started a return to school program where she was able to get pregnant girls who were delivered to be back to school, the young mothers. She was able to entrench this within the Kilifi County. She supported the vulnerable, the widows, and persons with disabilities. Her outstanding performance and contribution in the society epitomized the spirit of servant leadership and dedication to public service. She was awarded by the Commission, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, we were able also to identify Corporal Julius Karanja Irongo. Corporal Julius Karanja Irongo served in Madera County as from the Administration Police Unit. Your Excellency, this Corporal Karanja suffered after an Al-Shabaab attack. All the other officers that he was with were killed after that attack, but Your Excellency, through his resilience, he was able to sustain the attack until they got reinforcement. As a result of that, Your Excellency, he lost his sight. Corporal Karanja was an epitome of service delivery in the forces. For compliance with the performance contracting obligation and reporting on resolution of complaints, we've also identified Homa Bay County. Homa Bay County, Your Excellency, established a climate change unit. In the climate change unit, the citizens are able to get information on the type of soil that they have within their localities, on the kind of crops that they can plant within their localities, and we recognized Homa Bay County with the Ugatuzi Award. We also recognized Murang'a County government for digitizing all the county service within Murang'a County. We also, Your Excellency, recognized Embu County. Embu County has led in domestication of the Access to Information Act within Embu County. In terms of institutional strengthening and capacity building, Your Excellency, we report that we've had invaluable support from the various institutions of government, the national government, Parliament through the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, the judiciary through the National Council of Administration of Justice, and we thank you, Your Excellency, for fighting it within your administration to be able to place independent commissions within your government. And this is Your Excellency, by granting us the opportunity to have by Executive Order number 2 of 2023, placing the commissions within the Office of the Deputy President. This being a liaison office, Your Excellency, it has supported the commissions because now we have a way of communicating with the presidency as and when the demand arises. It has also supported us, Your Excellency, to be able to ensure the recommendations of commissions are met through Parliament and other government institutions. And thank you for finding that fit to be within the presidency. We have also received support from Treasury through financing locally led climate action program. We have received a lot of support from the Ministry of ICT and Digital Economy and the Ministry of Public Service, Your Excellency, through granting the Commission the Ombudsman desk within the Huduma centers. We are happy to report that we have presence in the Huduma centers, but not across Kenya as we'd like to, and I believe, Your Excellency, that is work in progress. We also have support from the Council of Governors. We have an MOU that we've been able to train the county government officers. Your Excellency, on the international front, Kenya has been recognized on several platforms on the basis of our engagement and contribution. The chairperson was elected as the Secretary General of the African Ombudsman and Mediators Association. And to refresh your memory, Your Excellency, you hosted us when you were the Deputy President of this Republic in Karen, and with all the Ombudsmen of Africa, and we were able to engage you, and thank you very much. Your Excellency was also elected as the Regional President of Africa, while serving as the Ombudsman of Kenya. We've also, Your Excellency, and our Commissioner Lucy Dongo, who served Kenya on the international platform, notably as an executive committee member of the International Conference of Information Commissioners and the Treasurer of Africa Network of Information Commission. On this, Your Excellency, I thank you personally, because when you are the Deputy President, you are able to host the Open Government Program within the Office of the Deputy President, and we are able to ensure that the Access to Information law then took effect by supporting the Commission in various platforms. Your Excellency, we've also successfully implemented some of our programs through support from other partners. Your Excellency, our budget, there have been shortcomings here and there, which we understand, Your Excellency. Although the budget of the Commission has increased, but we are praying, Your Excellency, as we exit this stage, you're going to find it a place where the commissions can continue to have an improvement, because we recognize the fact that, Your Excellency, when you came into office, you were able to give the judiciary fund. You were also able to give money to the Inspector General. We are also asking that within the independent commissions, now that we are placed in the office of the Deputy President, our budgets can continuously be improved so that commissions are able to execute their mandates. Your Excellency, we also have the State of Administrative Justice and Access to Information report. This report, Your Excellency, is going to show to the partners and the people we collaborate with the fact that the Commission has carried out systemic investigations, because we realized, Your Excellency, within the ministries and the departments and the agencies, there are systemic challenges. We've been able to work with the cabinet secretaries and various government officers to be able to report on the systemic gaps that affect service delivery for government. It is therefore with pride, Your Excellency, that we exit this stage, having achieved significant milestones, more so in the enhancement of administrative justice and access to information, achievements that reflect our collective and unwavering commitment to improve governance for all citizens. Your Excellency, as I conclude, I would like to quote this verse, Luke chapter 12, verse 48. Your Excellency, to whom much is given, much will be expected. And from him to whom they entrusted much, they will demand more. So don't be shaken. I also quote Uncle Ben's words of wisdom by Peter Parker in Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. We thank you, Your Excellency, for the support you've given the independent commissions and offices, and we pray, Your Excellency, that this continues to support the processes of the commissions. And as my sister said, it appears, Your Excellency, it's only ladies who are exiting the stage, and you promote women. So these ladies here have the energy. They are retiring, but they are not tired. Thank you, Your Excellency. We thank you for the support, and we pray for you that you continue to take this country forward. God bless you. God bless Kenya.
Your Excellency, the third commission to hand over its report is the National Gender and Equality Commission. Sir, the chairperson of the National Gender and Equality Commission, Dr. Joyce Mwikali Mutinda, was appointed by your predecessor in office on 29th August 2018 for a single non-renewable term of 6 years. The chairperson, Dr. Mwikali Mutinda, was appointed alongside Dr. Mureithi J. Chomba Munyi, PhD, a person living with disability, who will be exiting the commission alongside herself. If it pleases Your Excellency, permit me to invite the outgoing chairperson, Dr. Mwikali Mutinda, to highlight the commission's achievements during her tenure in office, and thereafter to proceed and hand over her commission's exit report to you.
Your Excellency, our President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, Deputy President Gachagua, and my colleagues, I feel greatly honored at this point in time because, unlike my two colleagues, I'm leaving behind 3 commissioners who form a quorum. We are a commission of 5, and I'm leaving behind 3, so it is myself and the Vice Chair who will be exiting. And I'm leaving behind 3, So it is myself and the Vice Chair who will be exiting. And our report does not say we did it just to ourselves. We did it with the rest of the commissioners. So it is with pride and deep sense of responsibility that I stand before you today to highlight progress that the National Gender and Equality Commission has done in advancing gender equality and freedom from discrimination in Kenya. Allow me to focus only on the last 6 years, that is August 2018 to August 2024, when I have served as the chairperson. During this period, a lot has been achieved. And we have achieved this through 2 administrations, through your predecessor and your administration. The Commission has worked tirelessly to fulfill its mandate in conformity not only with the Constitution of Kenya 2010, but also with the National Gender and Equality Commission Act number 15 of 2011, the National Gender and Equality Commission Strategic Plan 2019-2024. Sir, that tells you when we got in, we did a strategic plan to guide our route through. We have also done that in conformity with the Big Four agenda, that was 2018 to 2022, and the Government of Kenya COVID-19 response guidelines, the Vision 2030, the Medium Term Plan 3, and the Medium Term Plan 4. And finally, at this point in time before my exit from 2022, the bottom-up transformation agenda, that is BITA. Your Excellency, during these 6 years, and I see it as a very short tenure, I could have done much more if I had much more time, but the Constitution does not allow for that. But I know you have other agendas for some of us. Your Excellency, during my tenure, operating with a peak annual budget of Kenya shillings 400 million, significantly below the projected 800 million Kenya shillings, the Commission has achieved the following. The first achievement that I want to highlight is that we did develop and gazette the National Gender and Equality Commission Complaints Handling Procedure Regulations 2022. There were no regulations from 2012 until 2022. So handling complaints was a challenge. But now, as we exit, it's not going to be a challenge because the regulations are there and already gazetted. We guided several institutions to align their workplace policies with gender mainstreaming requirements. To be precise, we dealt with 45 institutions, including the State House. We produced 27 data-driven reports, and these reports, I think the details are in our report. I will not bore you with that. We issued 62 commemoration statements during International Days for Special Interest Groups. Our special interest groups are women, children, persons with disability, older members of society, minority, and marginalized groups. And I want to single out one of those advisories that we gave to Your Excellency about minority and marginalized. And I'm very happy that Your Excellency, you listened to our plea, and now we have a unit for minority and marginalized groups in your office. And I would be requesting, if it is not too much to do, to have a State Department, because this is the arm within the executive arm of government that will be making policies for the minority and marginalized groups among us. I also want to point out, I noted with satisfaction your current cabinet. I was counting. I looked at Turkana. I looked at the cost, and so many minorities have come to your cabinet. So I hope in the other areas they will be considered. I know there are very many other advisories we have issued, but I just wanted to pick out that one. We addressed 624 complaints regarding gender equality and discrimination from all parts of the country. The details are in our report. We submitted 308 memorandums on bills draft policies and regulations to the National Assembly, Senate, county assemblies, and other public bodies. And when we say 308, at times we have to overhaul a bill because we find it discriminative. Now, this has not stopped at 305, 308. We are still continuing, and this is one of the areas that we have a problem with, because we need, as a commission, even as I exit, we need many more advocates of the High Court to be dealing with these bills, because we have to go to the Senate, we have to go to the National Assembly, and the county assemblies, the 47 of them. So the current retinue of staff that I have is not enough. So as I exit, I want to plead for more members of staff. We have contributed to 42 country reports on regional and international commitments on equality and inclusion, positioning Kenya as a global leader in substantive equality. When we talk of country reports, is where Kenya is reporting because we are an oversight to make sure that the international treaties and conventions where Kenya is a signatory or Kenya has also ratified, then reporting has been done, especially when they touch on our special interest groups. Your Excellency, I will not bore you with many reports and results, but I want to get to the challenges that I came across with my vice chair and challenges that even the commissioners are facing at the moment. The first one is financial constraints. My two colleagues did not expound on that, but I did say we have operated at 400 million when we actually require 800 million, and I don't know whether we shall continue having it at that level. I hope the government will do something about it. There is inadequate human resources. Out of an approved establishment of 197, as I exit, there are 108 officers in post. And when it comes to technical staff, there is a shortfall of 8 and 9 from the current approved establishment. And when we don't have the money, we can't employ, then it means we are doing the wrong thing at times. We have limited coverage. The Commission has only 6 field officers against the required 47 officers. Your Excellency, I know you are aware that Article 6, Sub-Article 3 of the Constitution of Kenya requires a national state organ to reach every part of the country. I must say it has been very difficult to reach every part of the country, and as much as I'm not talking of 47 offices to be opened, I think we can do much better. And I was even talking to my commissioners and saying in the next few months, it is important that we have at least one office, North Rift, another office in Western Kenya, another office in Central Province, because in those areas, we keep serving them from very far, from either Nairobi or from Nakuru. We have suffered or faced problems with limited legal framework. When I talk of limited, I'm saying there is legislation that is yet to be done. And what has been very commonplace has been Article 27, Sub-Article 8 on the 2/3 gender principle. Your Excellency, I know your effort in pushing to have this legislation come to bear fruit. But so far, it has not materialized. Also, Article 100 on representation of marginalized groups in Parliament, enactment has not been done. And I'm requesting, I don't know how to go about this, whether when I'm out there in the next few days I'll become an activist to ensure it is done, but it is something that needs to be done and done urgently. When I look at the exiting chairs today, and they are all female, I'm wondering what it will be in the constitutional commissions and independent offices. Are we going to be having 2/3 gender principle realized? I think we will not have that. So when you are appointing the next lot, just remember the 2/3 gender principle. And it doesn't just apply to constitutional commissions, it applies to every other entity of this country. We have had problems with weak enforcement mechanisms. When we make an undertaking, there is no strong enforcement for non-compliance. For example, if somebody does not comply with 2/3, what do I do? It has been a problem. But we can have self-executing laws. I will be having some recommendations on what can be done. To overcome, Your Excellency, to overcome these challenges, myself and the Vice Chair and my commissioners, we sat and felt, one, there is need to have increased budgetary allocation, not only for the Commission, but also for all programs on gender equality and inclusion, so that we can scale up the interventions such as prevention of gender-based violence and installing creative interventions to improve the plight of the boy child in the gender agenda. Your Excellency, I just want to remind ourselves, one time when we visited the Deputy President, I actually gave him what we have done about the boy child, a whole booklet. And I said I knew his spouse was very much on that agenda. But I'm saying let us not forget the boy child when we are taking care of the girl child. Gender is both male and female. Your Excellency, I also recommend expansion of the NGEC's field coverage, coupled with increased human resources for enhanced service delivery throughout the country. I also recommend enactment of self-executing legislation on equality and inclusion, starting with the legislation provided for in Article 27, Sub-Article 8, and Article 100 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. We also feel that there is need for continued implementation of affirmative actions and programs for vulnerable groups, including other members of society, the PWDs, minority and marginalized groups. Your Excellency, nataka kunyenyekea, wacha niongee kwa Kiswahili. Tafadhali, in your current cabinet and among your PSs, please remember our PWDs. You have seen the presentation by Washington Sati. My own vice chair has been doing quite well. So just remember this group because it has been almost totally left out. Please, Your Excellency, I beg of you. We have also thought it is important to strengthen interagency collaboration. No one can do what they have to do alone. And we have been collaborating with, for example, the Ombudsman, IPOA. We have been collaborating with the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights. But therein comes the problem. When we are seen to collaborate and deliver on the whole government approach, people have come up and said there is need to kill the National Gender and Equality Commission. It is even in the NADICO report. So the last thing I would beg of you, Your Excellency, is immediate protection of the National Gender and Equality Commission from dissolution or merger. It serves a space that nobody else will serve. And I know because of serving very diligently, that is why people get concerned and they want that organization killed. During your tenure, Your Excellency, please protect the National Gender and Equality Commission. Let it remain what it is. I thank you for giving me a full term of 6 years to serve this nation, particularly in the gender, agenda, and inclusion space. God bless us, and God bless Kenya. I now wish to submit my exit report.
I will ask the rest of us to remain seated as the report is being received. Your Excellency, in culminating the day's ceremony, the last but not least is the Independent Policing Oversight Authority. Sir, the chairperson of IPOA, Ms. Anne Makori, was appointed by your predecessor in office on 29th August 2018 for a single non-renewable term of 6 years. The chairperson, Ms. Anne Makori, was appointed alongside the following other members: Dr. Jonathan Lodompui Litipalei, PhD, Dr. Jimmy Mutuku Mwinzi, PhD, Dr. Ms. Doreen Nkatha Muthaura, MBS, Dr. Walter Owen Ogony, Ms. Prexides Chepkoech Tororei, Hon John Mureithi Waiganjo, Ms. Fatuma Mohamud Mohammed. If it pleases Your Excellency, permit me to invite the outgoing chairperson of IPOA, Ms. Anne Makori, to make a summation of our Commission's achievements during her tenure in office, and thereafter proceed and hand over to Your Excellency the exit report.
Your Excellency, Dr. William Kipchirchir Samoei Arap Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, Your Excellency. For Internal Affairs Unit, we cooperate with also the non-state actors, cooperation with development partners and donor agencies through the bilateral relations that the government of Kenya has established, and also continental collaborations with other players. In that particular key resort area, Your Excellency, we achieved 128%. Research and information is the other key resort area. We had that one reports developed and disseminated, that one policy briefs developed and disseminated and forwarded to our parent ministry, the Ministry of Interior, and the Inspector General of Police. 3 tracking of recommendation exercises, and digitalization and automation of IPOA services. In digitalization, in line with the government policy on digitalization, Your Excellency, we were able to develop our case management system, we call it ECM, from just case management to ERP, and we developed a disaster recovery site in Nakuru and developed an enhanced capacity for hosting data. Your Excellency, IPOA can host another government department with the capacity that we've developed in collaboration with development partners. The other key resort area is institutional capacity, strengthening human resource capacity. We reviewed and developed new HR instruments, complete with career progression guidelines. We were able to decentralize services of IPOA. We now have 10 offices. We can do better, certainly. When we visited you on 31st of October, Your Excellency, you challenged us to develop IPOA regulations. We've been able to do that internally. We have developed regulations. We will be giving you a copy of those regulations. We have finalized that process using internal capacity under the ad hoc chairmanship of Commissioner Doreen Muthaura, one of our commissioners. And those regulations have been gazetted. They were gazetted on 28th May 2024, have received parliamentary approval, Your Excellency, and they now form part of Kenya's subsidiary registration. All of it done internally without a single cent spent on consultancy. Strengthening business systems and internal processes. Thank you. Infrastructure and tooling. Your Excellency, working with partners, we've been able to enhance IPOA capacity. We understand we work in a very tight fiscal environment, so we have used the opportunity that the government has given us through bilateral relations to enhance capacity and tooling, and we've been able to get computers, printers, 8 field vehicles, 8 double cabin vehicles, Toyota, double cabin for field work, and much more, Your Excellency, so that we can also utilize those relationships that the government has spent a lot of time to negotiate. And we have reviewed and developed all our internal policies. Your Excellency, I was told to be brief, so I decided to go the number way, and in that particular key resort area, we got 87. So we got 72, 128, 81, and 87 in that order, Your Excellency. In developing policies, Your Excellency, we reviewed all the policies. We developed a board charter that was not in existence. As I've said, new HR instrument, career progression guidelines, and those regulations. Enhanced our ELP and case management system by expanding their coverage to all functional areas, enhancement of storage capacity, establishment of off-site data recovery, and established a Nairobi regional office and a toll-free call center. And throughout this term, for the 6 years, Your Excellency, we are humble to let you know that we did not get a single audit query. So we are in line with the head of public service, 0 audit query. Not a single pending bill, Your Excellency. And for the entire period, we have received fire awards. Thank you. Besides these achievements, Your Excellency, we also faced challenges that affected effectiveness. That's why in some areas we could not do 100%. And as the board exits, we wish to highlight these challenges for interventions to be considered for full realization of full police reforms in the following broad areas. Your Excellency, extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances. During the meeting that we held with you on 31st October 2022 at State House, Your Excellency, you directed us to develop a strategy and submit a proposed intervention within 5 days to our Cabinet Secretary, Professor Kithure Kindiki. We did this, we retreated, put in all the time, and developed a strategy. Your Excellency, we did submit that proposed intervention, which would, with a lot of humility, request that it be looked at and see the possibility of conducting a public inquiry. Because, Your Excellency, this problem of allegations of extrajudicial killings, enforced disappearances, police use of force, keeps mutating to date, and it keeps becoming an issue that causes a lot of emotions. So we call for implementation of a recommendation contained in the report that we submitted to our CS. The other challenge we have experienced is non-cooperation by NPS. We have really tried to work through the approach of whole government, cooperation and collaboration. We've refused drastically instances of non-cooperation, but some of areas we continue to experience this. We had almost dealt with it until the recently retired IG came into the office and we started experiencing fresh challenges. We've continued to work on this, Your Excellency, but it continues to frustrate the constitutional desire for accountability. Monitoring of protests and demonstrations, including Gen Z, in which we have recorded 50 deaths, 197 injuries. The findings that from our monitoring report, which is available and which we shall be submitting to our CS hopefully before we exit, the findings exposed use of excessive force by the members of the National Police Service. There was also use of hooded and identifiable police officers. We experienced refusal to honor IPOA summons, all purposing to defeat police accountability. Independence of security sector actors. IPOA relies on DCI laboratory, which is under the control of NPS. We have time and again recommended, Your Excellency, that your government considers making it an independent, professionally run laboratory where all agencies can have equal opportunity, because we rely on the same people we are investigating for the analysis of the results. We have also experienced parallel investigations by Internal Affairs Unit, IPOA, and DCI. This does not only cause wastage of public resources, because we are all investigative agencies, doing the same thing, wasting a lot of resources investigating the same matter. But of greatest concern, Your Excellency, is subjecting the officers to multiple investigations. They are being investigated by IPOA, being investigated by Internal Affairs Unit, which is a department of National Police Service, and being investigated by DCI, which is a department, which is an entity of policing. That officer suffers stress, feels harassed, besides wastage of public resources. Low rate of implementation of IPOA's recommendation by NPS. Implementation of these recommendations and feedback to IPOA should be embedded in policy framework, Your Excellency. Access to decentralized IPOA services, apart from the existing 10 regional offices, there is need to establish our presence in all the 47 counties, and we know we are not saying a brick and mortar presence, which we know is costly. We have the Huduma centers that are operational throughout the counties. We can be facilitated to just have a desk in those Huduma centers and an officer, Your Excellency. The other challenge we continue to face, and I will not dwell much on this, is the budget constraints within that tough fiscal space, and the number of staff is too low compared to the approved establishment. We are operating at about 19%, and that really constrains the effectiveness of the authority. As I conclude, Your Excellency, some tasks remain outstanding, and these include further decentralization of IPOA services in line with the Constitution, review of IPOA Act to address the mandate overlap areas. And in closing, Your Excellency, I wish to express the board's heartfelt gratitude to you, Your Excellency, and your administration, that is greatly supported by His Excellency, the Deputy President, and your cabinet, but special note of our Cabinet Secretary, Professor Kithure Kidiki, and our Principal Secretary, Dr. Raymond Omolo, and the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. The GAO framework in this country, they support us, they give us opportunities to disseminate our mandate through the bazaars all the way to the village level, and we work very closely with the GAO so that we can ride on that existing platform for ease access. We also wish to thank the staff of IPOA, all our partners and stakeholders for their unwavering support throughout this journey. And this, Your Excellency, is on my behalf and on behalf of the other 8 commissioners that we work with. Together, we have made significant strides in promoting police accountability and safeguarding the rights and interests of the public. We are confident that the new board will receive the same support we received to continue the important work of IPOA, building upon the existing foundation. Your Excellency, the team that I've been serving with is a very dedicated team, is still very energetic, and they sent me to kindly request this administration that they would like to support your success. And as you continue serving this country, they offer themselves and they remain available, Your Excellency. With these few remarks, I wish to thank you, Your Excellency. May God bless you, may God bless Kenya, and now I wish to submit our 8-term performance report to Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, sir, in concluding our day's ceremony, I most humbly invite His Excellency the Deputy President, in whose office the liaison of constitutional commissions is vested, to make a few remarks, and thereafter invite Your Excellency to make your remarks. I thank you, Excellency.
Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of our Defense Forces, the commissioners present here and independent officers, Your Excellency, this is a great moment as we celebrate these great men and women who have served their motherland with commitment and distinction. Your Excellency, you accorded me the privilege as a delegated function to perform the liaison function of constitutional commissions and independent offices to make sure there is synergy and accord them the opportunity to serve their country. In that mandate, we have had very fruitful engagements with the commissions and independent offices. And in that liaison function, we have sorted out a few problems. I do recall we had issues between the Inspector General of Police and the Police Service Commission, where they were exchanging very harsh words in newspapers and creating a lot of confusion in the country. And we were able at our office to sit them down and thrash out the issues to the satisfaction of everybody and bring sanity to the public. Again, we had issues between the Teacher Service Commission and the Ministry of Education, and we were able, within that space, to sit down and thrash out the issues that were there. Of course, SRC is accused every day in my office to a point that I don't even bother to call them, because I think everybody wants a salary raise. I think in the last time there was a proposal to raise salaries, it's only the President and I who are not interested in a raise. Everybody else in the country was interested. So there are many issues that have been filed against SRC, and I've been called upon many times to defend the chairperson and her commissioners. And you have done a good job, because in the tight fiscal space we are in, I don't envy the position you have been holding, because everybody has been going for you. And those complaints, those misunderstandings continue to come before our office, and we continue to create that synergy. So as you proceed to your next tour of duty, we wish you well, and we really want to thank you for the cooperation that you have accorded my office. And for the rest of us, I think we'll just continue. And this morning we had our latest member of the family, the new Attorney General, Dr. Sadwal, who will be joining us as an independent office. We'll continue having that engagement, and we continue serving our country, and we just learn to appreciate each other. There's a saying in my community that buffaloes don't move together in a herd because they like each other. It's the danger of moving alone. So let us continue being one great family of the Constitutional Commissions and independent offices, so that we can serve our country. IPOA, we want to thank you. It's also not been easy with always conflict between yourselves and the National Police Service, because you are investigating them, and we have had to intervene just to create synergy all the time. Your Excellency, that is a function we'll continue to carry out, so that the Constitutional Commissions and independent offices are able to implement their mandate. Of course, they are always coming to my office about budgetary constraints, and we have taken time to explain to them where we are, and I want to thank you for being understanding. We would want to give you the budget that you require, but we need to collect this money from the people of Kenya, and then we can give it to you. We have had, of course, to intervene where you have exchequer issues to make sure that your money is released on time, and we'll continue to perform that function. So with those very many remarks, let me request you to be upstanding as I request the President to come and make his remarks and address the people of Kenya. Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Let's take our seats. Asanteni sana. Mr. Deputy President, the outgoing chairs of our commissions, it is an honor to have this opportunity to engage with the outgoing leadership of the nation's fourth arm of government, constitutional commissions and independent offices. Constitutional commissions and independent offices play a critical role in enhancing oversight, performing essential advisory functions, and anchoring service delivery in national values and principles of governance, which are the foundation of the Republic. This is why Constitution recognizes this special role and clearly defines the functions and terms of office for chairpersons and members of these bodies under Article 256, subsection 6A. Therefore, in keeping with the essential character of your offices, your mandates and tenures transcend those of government of the day, while various policy and statutory instruments further safeguard the operational independence of your offices. Today, we bid farewell to distinguished chairpersons and commissioners who have had the privilege to serve in positions of incomparable reach and impact. We also have a special opportunity to reflect on the nature and scope of the authority and limitations, potential and shortcomings, as well as the triumphs and difficulties, as has been very ably elaborated by those who have spoken, that define the course of engagement in the endeavor to actualize our constitutional dispensation. Given our operational realities and strategic constraints and the whole terrain from where we operate, there is no doubt that your tour of duty has had its share of exemplary accomplishments and teachable moments as you applied yourselves to determining the best way of achieving the constitutional ends of your separate offices. It is also why the progress that has been made in the implementation of your constitutional mandates is remarkable and meaningful. You have not only provided oversight to other arms of government, but you have also made immense contributions to the advancement of constitutionalism, the rule of law, and the administration of justice, as well as the promotion of national values and principles of governance as set out in Article 10 and 232 of our Constitution. Allow me to specifically appreciate your efforts in leading constitutional commissions and independent offices to make their contribution to the national discourse on the protection of fundamental rights and freedoms, the actualization of the national values and principles of governance, the enhancement of inclusion and cohesion, reflection on the sustainability of public sector wage bill, transformations of policing, and the fight against corruption. Today, as you engage in reflection and introspection, you have a chance to consider the fate of your legacy in terms of the performance standards that must have been satisfied for your respective institutions to be effective and also to be successful. With this in mind, today marks the beginning of an introspection transition during which we ask ourselves pertinent questions in relation to our legacies and how they define the future of the organizations that we have been privileged to lead. We launched the Zero Fault Audit campaign aimed at highlighting the merits of having no audit queries touching on your organizations. The campaign's goal was to strengthen accountability, openness, integrity, good governance, and the satisfaction of international best practice in our public sector through the promotion of the prudent use and management of public resources. I believe that that constitutional commissions have a major opportunity to promote this approach in our organizations and mandate sectors. Likewise, it is time to define sustainable standards for organization or organizational transitions, beginning with the process of constituting selection panels to recruit new chairpersons and commissioners. In this connection, I am happy to announce that the government remains committed to ensuring a free, open, and transparent recruitment process based on merit as the fundamental yardstick for actualizing constitutional mandates. There is no doubt, and there is no better time to demonstrate true fidelity to the rule of law, thus promoting our nationhood. I've heard very clearly some of the recommendations that you have made on balancing matters to do with gender, making sure that as the four great ladies who today exit the stage, their replacement will not undermine the principle of gender equality, and making sure that we have as many women serving in high office. I have also heard with clarity the inclusion of people living with disability and the marginalized in making sure that they play their role and make their contribution to the progress of our country in the very special way that they are. And that will be taken into account as we forge into the future. When I made the decision that independent offices and constitutional commissions will be hosted at the presidency, at the office of the deputy president, it was because of the importance of making sure that all arms of government have equal access to the synergy and the workings of government in a manner that promotes the spirit of the collegiate spirit of working together towards a common goal in service of the people of Kenya. That has worked very well, as has been explained by the Deputy President here, in making sure that despite our independence, or because of our independence, it's also necessary for us to find mechanisms to have a common approach and a common goal in the service of the people of Kenya. And I want to take this opportunity also to very categorically state that as the executive, we will want to do our bit in enabling other arms of government, the judiciary, the legislature, independent commissions, to also discharge their responsibility in accordance with the mandate that has been given to us. And it is also necessary for all arms of government, the executive, the judiciary, the legislature, independent commissions, and constitutional commissions, independent offices and constitutional commissions, to also work together in harmony. It is necessary for us to understand that impeding the work of another arm of government undermines the overall interest of the people of Kenya. We must support the judiciary to do its function. The judiciary must or equally support the executive to discharge its mandate. And so must the executive support the legislature to appropriate and discharge the mandate assigned to them by the Constitution. Because ultimately, the interest of the people of Kenya supersede the interest of any one of us or of any arm of government. we must never undermine Kenya is far much greater the individual interest of personalities or offices. And greater good, the greater interest of the people of Kenya. None of the great ladies who spoke here has not mentioned to me about resources. I mean, every one of you has mentioned that you do not have a complete staff establishment. Many of you have said you are unable to optimize the capabilities that are within the commissions that you run because of limitations of financial resources. And so it is a very present issue that all of us, from whatever it is, making sure that we have adequate resources is not the responsibility of the executive alone. It is our collective responsibility as all arms of government, because that way all of us can function properly and serve the people of Kenya better. And we must all work together towards making sure that we support one another in making sure that all arms of government are working as efficiently as possible, because that way, when all arms of government are working, when the judiciary is working and working optimally, when the executive, legislature, and the commissions are working, it serves the people of Kenya better. I am aware that certain commissions, like the Salaries and Remuneration Commission and the Commission of Administrative Justice, the terms of offices for the chairperson and all commissioners expire at the same time, leaving these organizations in undesirable state of suspense. It is essential to ensure that in these instances, service delivery is not interrupted, especially during instances of sometimes delayed recruitment. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, for example, has not been able to discharge its mandate effectively for close to 2 years now. There is great merit in considering pragmatic options like staggering recruitment of commissioners to achieve a degree of continuity in the then in close consultation with the Attorney General and the Constitutional Commissions and independent offices will be tasked with preparing an omnibus bill to give effect to the legal provision for staggered recruitment of commissioners and commission chairs. Additionally, there is need to review the enabling legislative instruments in respect of various constitutional commissions and independent offices to law progressive legislation aimed at enhancing interdependence amidst the independence of these offices. And I'm very happy that our new Attorney General has served in different arms of government. Once upon a time in the judiciary, she has also worked in an independent office, and now she works in the executive. So she has the requisite knowledge and understanding to create as much harmony and coherence as is necessary for us as different arms of government to serve better. Let me repeat, there is absolutely no reason or justification of whatever nature for there to be a competition between different arms of government. Absolutely none. Because we serve the people of Kenya collectively together. Our aim and focus is how do we serve best the people of Kenya? What interest are we pushing? It must be the good of the people of Kenya, not this arm of government versus that arm of government, or this independent office versus that commission. I think we will completely miss the point if we enter into the realm of competition between arms of government instead of focusing on serving the people of Kenya. I am persuaded that the framework of engagement between the national government and constitutional commissions and independent offices offers useful opportunities for enhancing the liaison between these two entities. The government recognizes the role of the caucus in coordinating constitutional commissions, and I therefore commit to support the caucus in establishing a properly facilitated secretariat along similar lines as the Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council. I am confident that the Office of the Deputy President will work towards ensuring that this secretariat is indeed supported so that we can create the necessary synergy around our independent offices and constitutional commissions for better service to the people of Kenya. Once more, on my own behalf and that of the entire government, I take this opportunity to thank you for your distinguished service to the Republic of Kenya during the last 6 years. And I recognize that many of you can still make useful contribution to the service of our nation in other different capacities, and I wish you well as you as you go forth to do that. I am very sure that the experiences you have acquired in the service of Kenya, in the offices that you have been privileged to occupy, have equipped you with a lot of skill and knowledge and understanding for you to be able to make a contribution to our great country going into the future in different sectors. Your knowledge and expertise and, of course, experience remain useful resources to both the government of Kenya and to the nation of Kenya. And we will continue to tap into this expertise and experience as we get opportunity to do so. Please, whenever you have an opportunity to contribute to national service, let us, all of us, not hesitate, especially those of us who have gathered experience along the way as you serve in the different positions that you have had a chance to. And I must say that I wish each and every one of you the very best in your next assignment. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. Asante.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I will now seek your indulgence.